All right, let's hit it off. Another one. It's us.
Another one.
It's us boys back at it, chilling extra hard, playing Rocket League, maybe praying to play well, and chatting shit. And today's theme is conspiracy theories.
Whoa.
Okay. Pressing play.
Welcome everyone.
Yes. Hello once again. Competitive 3v3. And we're off to the races. So today's theme is actually one that I'm not very familiar with. So I'll probably go last.
He says that, but wait till you get him talking about
Yeah.
flat Earth or some
Yeah. I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but the Earth is flat.
Yes.
It's not a conspiracy, it's just a fact.
Yes. Exactly. So I think since Dave is so vocal on this topic, I can hit it off, as he has been actually. Every episode.
Yep.
Whoops.
What you got, Dave?
So, I mean, I wanted to talk about the conspiracy theories that came up around the 2016 US election of Donald Trump.
Ooh.
So, Pizzagate, if you've heard of that, and then there's a QAnon as well. I honestly don't know too much about the topic, but I've definitely seen some interesting things. So, some of it did end up being true, like Jeffrey Epstein being a pedo and having kids on his island.
Yeah.
But the whole QAnon thing is like that. It's essentially a Satanist cult that sells and sacrifices children and is conspiring against Donald Trump as well, who is like the savior of America.
Wait, so they're
So
against Donald Trump?
One. No, the conspiracy, like Hillary Clinton and stuff, the Satanists are against Donald Trump.
Okay, I see.
But QAnon are like, they think Donald Trump is like the hero that's going to save America.
Right.
Like he's like the second coming of Christ almost.
Right,
Even though he's obviously the opposite of Christ, really.
The Cheetos Jesus.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Pizzagate's an interesting one because I think it was like, it was a while ago. I think it was like at university, pretty much like, 2016.
You should explain what it is.
It's kind of, I think it's that, Epstein and Hillary Clinton and stuff are a child trafficking ring, pretty much, and they sell children at some pizza parlor. And they use code words to, like, pizza is like referencing to
pizza
a child
time.
Or something like that. Yeah, pizza time. Because,
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, pizza is kind of like inconspicuous. So if you sell kids at a pizza, because
how did this start?
People shit posting on 4chan, I think, mostly.
Oh, it sounds legit.
That was the main thing. Like, obviously, anything posted on 4chan is going to be
Gospel.
true.
Yeah.
Facts.
So
Facts.
that's pretty much how it originated. And then the whole, like, Satanist cult.
Yeah.
Like, so Jeffrey Epstein's island has, like, I remember looking into it before, like a while ago, and they were looking at pictures of Epstein's island, and there's like a ramp that kind of goes down the side of one of the cliffs, and then there's like a gate or like a garage, and they're like, okay, that's where they have the sacrificial altar, like the giant statue of their demonic god, and they sacrifice children in that cave there. And okay, that makes sense.
Okay, wait.
And then there were
so just to start on that then, because I think there's probably loads of avenues that you could go down.
I think so, yeah.
As if that's not like messed up enough. So all of the stuff that came out about Epstein now that we know about all the things that he did and the people that he was in contact with and stuff like that, have any of them mentioned anything about like some demonic section to that whole operation?
You mean the victims?
The
right,
victims,
satanic.
or just anyone. Has it been in the news or in any court case?
No, not really. There was one thing, like some strange like art exhibit which Epstein went to, which was like some woman covered in blood or something, and they were like eating stuff off her or something. Wow. That was the most satanic thing. That they had pictures of that and said, "Oh, he's a Satanist. Look at this." But that's pretty much all they had in terms of saying he's a Satanist.
They're just rich people, doing rich people stuff.
It's just rich people doing weird shit. Like they're like, "Oh yeah, look, some woman covered in blood lying on a table. Yeah, let's go and look at that. That's interesting." That's pretty much it.
It looks like
so
a refreshing
it really is
beverage.
just it's an exaggeration of the truth, I suppose, because obviously he's a nonce and Hillary Clinton and all that are pretty dodgy, but they probably aren't selling children in pizza parlors. Yeah. But I thought it was interesting because people were going on about it during the election. Maybe it was Russia, actually.
Why pizza parlors?
I think it was some of the terminology they used in the emails, the leaked emails. They referenced a pizza parlor.
That's what.
Like there was going to something about a party in one.
That's what just breaks the whole thing open for me. Who emails about pizza? Nobody.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's kind of sus.
It's kind of sus. Yeah.
It's sussy.
So not the fact that they were emailing about like kids or anything. But was that part of the email or?
No, they weren't. That's the thing. It was all that the QAnon theory is that it's all code words. It's not literally they're talking about kids. They're using code words to reference them. So they don't literally say, "Yeah, I'm going to sell you some kids." It's more like we're going to meet for some pizza in the pizza parlor.
Because everybody likes pizza, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone likes kids. Well, everyone is rich and famous anyway. Going to get cancelled for this if anyone listens to it.
Yeah, if the powerful elite, if Prince Andrew is listening, first of all, share with your friends.
He's not Prince anymore. He's been cancelled as well.
Yeah, he's just Andrew now.
Oh, he's just Andrew?
I don't know.
Yeah, the Queen disowned him for being a nonce.
Yeah, but he's still in the palace with her, like chilling at the balcony.
Yeah, he just doesn't. He's just retired from royal duties, I think.
No more.
So it's not really.
No more.
Does that mean he still gets the benefits but doesn't have to actually do anything?
Do anything? Yeah, exactly. That's what it means.
Yeah, I guess so.
Doesn't even need to appear at those at any events. He just collects.
I don't think they want him to, money. Would they? Yeah.
Oh, 30 seconds to even this out, boys.
Shit.
QAnon and Pizzagate are separate things, or they're the same thing?
I think Pizzagate came from QAnon. QAnon raised more things, and I don't know too much about it. I've seen a little bit. There was I can't remember what his name is. This YouTuber who does like videos where he goes into like cults and weird groups of people. He did a QAnon one, which is pretty cool, and it's just like really sort of super patriotic Americans.
You mean Shane Dawson?
QAnon's. Not Shane Dawson. It's like a fake news report guy. I should have looked into it. Remember what his name is, but yeah, he's
almost.
I got some info on my phone about it. Let's see.
Check the records.
QAnon.
Just get Jamie to pull it up.
Yeah.
It's a Joe Rogan reference.
So QAnon is the movement for federalism control and restoring constitutional order in America.
Wait, Dave. Weren't QAnon the guys who stormed the White House?
Oh yeah, I think it was all relating to that. It's all, they're all linked together. Yeah. Everything to do with like Donald Trump and all that. It's all kind of linked. Pizzagate, Jeffrey Epstein. They all link up. That's why I thought it was an interesting topic.
But wait, wasn't Donald Trump best friends with Epstein?
Oh yeah. Obviously, they just ignore that.
Yeah, that doesn't raise any eyebrows.
That's the thing, like Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton both were friends with Epstein.
Yeah.
And yet they just ignore the fact that Hillary Clinton that Trump was friends with them.
Well, we should also say that, I mean, Epstein may have, mingled with. He was obviously around those types of people anyway, of that wealth, of that
true.
Stature. So he may have mingled in the good ones with the bad ones, just so that it muddies the waters when it comes to, his conviction. So
I think so. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yes, for every Prince Andrew, he would invite like Bill Gates or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Bill Gates he's got a whole host of conspiracy theories of his own.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he has enough
I mean,
problems out
the
there.
vaccine being,
chip.
having microchips in it. There you go. That's one. That's probably QAnon as well. Who knows?
It's funny, like
I didn't research the topic.
The Bill Gates thing and the microchips. It's like if Bill Gates wants to put a microchip in you, everyone's against it. But if it's Elon Musk wants to put a microchip in you, everyone's like,
open up my skull, Elon.
Boy.
Yeah.
I want you inside of me, Elon.
Put a USB-C port in there and hook me up.
Yeah.
Sign me up for the memes.
Yeah. Memes live streamed to your consciousness every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those QAnon guys, like, it's crazy how mainstream that has become, because I've heard of them. I didn't know exactly what it was.
That's the thing. Yeah, it was literally a 4chan shitposter.
Yeah.
And now it's like America.
Yeah.
The big conspiracy in America. Like, this is.
Yeah.
And people believe it. So. Yeah, funny how that happens.
Yeah, it's but I think maybe the truth about all those people could be even stranger than this stuff.
True. Yeah, even weirder than you could even make up.
Because you don't really need conspiracy theories. Like, you remember the Panama Papers or whatever papers? Like, so many papers came out exposing all this whole like gang of rich people.
Officials.
Yeah. And basically telling us, look, these guys are baddies, and somehow we completely ignored it. It was on the news for like 2 days, and then we completely ignored it. But when it's something from 4chan that sounds like super suspicious, we're like, this might actually make sense. But we already have official documentation that they're dodgy AF.
It gets memory hold.
Yeah,
that's the word, I think.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, you forget about it. New news reports.
Yeah,
it's like the there was that. I don't know if I should touch on like mass shootings, but there was that one in Vegas of the guy from the hotel room. Yeah. And that seemed like super suspicious. Like, there was definitely more going on there than just some crazy guy that wanted to shoot a load of people. And yet they just kind of like stopped talking about it. I was like, oh yeah, he just shot some people because he was crazy. That's it.
That's because they have so many shootings. They gotta move on to the next one.
Yeah, that was definitely some gang-related stuff, like an arms deal or something that went wrong, or they had some conspiracy. Probably not government or anything, just a gang thing, but still, they just kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, I think it's that creative value to conspiracy theories that makes them so appealing. Like, people let it...
Like Flat Earth.
Yeah.
I think that's...
Yeah.
It's obviously ridiculous, but it's quite creative, like the ideas they come up with, the explanation.
The lore behind it, all these things. That's a nice transition to flat earthing, I guess, which I wanted to touch upon. I know I said I'm going to be last, but that was sort of where I wanted to go. I didn't want to discuss the flat earth theory in particular, but my sort of topic was how conspiracy theories ruin people for you, like ruin celebrities for you and people you admire. The main one for me was freaking Shaquille O'Neal. Like, I was a huge fan growing up of the basketball player, for those of the listeners who don't know who that is, but he's pretty famous now. I think he's the face of Papa John's now, or something like that. So Shaquille O'Neal is a flat earther, and when I found out, I was heartbroken.
Papa John's, the pizza place.
Oh, no.
Makes sense now.
Papa John's.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It all links
it's all
up.
pizza. Yeah. So it's really frustrating how, first of all, realizing how dumb some people are, and second of all, how like exactly how like not brainwashing these conspiracies can be. That's not the right word. It's more like enticing to the point where even people who are relatively intelligent start to like question basic science and facts, and
people just want to like uncover the next big thing. Like they want to be in that small group of people who were one of the first to know about something big, right? And
to say I told you so. Yeah,
I was there first.
Yeah, told you so. I was right all along.
Yeah.
So the flat
Earth is like that, really.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
People just want to be involved in some, secret society, like we know something that no one else does, kind of thing.
Yeah, and there's probably a community side to it as well. Like when you're a bit weird yourself, and you start finding other people who believe the same things as you, and you're like, you can get along with them, and you have, even if you don't fully believe it, some people are probably just there for a good time. You're like, I
exactly.
can make some friends, hang out, and discuss how the Earth isn't round, and we actually just live on a piece of paper.
Same for cults. That could be another episode.
They're really cults would be interesting to discuss, but I'm more interested of the pre-internet cults. Like with the internet now, it's so easy to get a conspiracy theory going, because you can literally make a Facebook group for it, and then find like-minded idiots who would believe it, or even a troll one. Like I wouldn't be surprised if the QAnon stuff they was talking about was initially just a casual troll that got way out of hand.
Probably, someone could just made it up and said, oh yeah, well, they're sacrificing children. Yeah
You
could easily just say that.
So sometimes I think like, could I be manipulated to that point to believe that the Earth is a disc? And some people, like, let's like in their defense, in the defense of those people that think ridiculous shit like that, their initial argument is they have learned this in school, right? And their teachers in school might conspire to lie to you or whatever. So they haven't actually seen the world being not flat, I guess. My absolute thing to watch on YouTube is flat earthers debunking their own theories. There's this guy. There's this guy who. You've seen that, right? The guy with with the. For the listeners who haven't seen that video, there was a guy who wanted to prove that the Earth is flat, and he was gonna shine a flashlight, I think, on a flat plane. And he was going to look for the light of it through like a hole in a structure and some wooden fence or whatever. And if the Earth was flat, they would have been like completely aligned. So he put the light source like really far away, and his claim was that he should be able to see it from that hole in the wall. And of course he didn't see it because there's a curvature to the Earth, and he sort of had this really, really pure and powerful realization moment that the last however many months or years of his life have been a lie. But some people like would even go against that. Like they would be so invested in what they believe in that even if you show them definitive proof that you can see and touch and like experience in real life, they'll be like, is it though?
Yeah, because at
Yeah,
that point,
that's true.
they're just embarrassed.
Yeah, there's no turning
They're
back.
at
Yeah,
the
you
point
can't
where
admit it.
They've invested so much time,
Yeah,
and then now they've just been proven wrong, even if it's by themselves.
yeah,
And they can't have
Yeah.
that because
I think people are
just
like
wasted
that
too much
outside of
time.
conspiracy theories.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
They won't admit they're wrong if they're too invested in something. They'll just
Oh,
keep
man.
bullshitting until...
that's a
they can
classic
stop.
classic manager move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Dave.
Like they'll tell you to do something, and then you realize halfway through it's the wrong thing to do, and then
Yeah.
they'll just be like, "Oh yeah, well, we all made mistakes."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Make it sound it
We'll
was
just
their.
do it anyway.
Yeah. Well, it was your idea. You're the one who, start pointing fingers at you. Yeah. It's. I think that's one of the bad sort of effects of the internet. Like, I love the internet mainly because of memes, but I think a lot of the dumb shit that happens in the world right now, especially the wild spread of many conspiracy theories, is
Fake news.
yeah, all because of the internet.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because it
yeah,
becomes a propaganda weapon as well. Like at the point where other countries can use it to. This could be a conspiracy theory in itself, but if another country can use this type of fake news material from, especially if they own certain news outlets or fund them, they can fuel certain division amongst the community, and then it ties into their propaganda campaigns against other countries.
yeah,
I think most top countries, most of the largest countries do this, and you kind of had some proof of that in I think it's called The Great Hack, that Netflix documentary where they were selling people's data to steer political voting decisions based on how persuadable you were to, like if you were leaning to the left, they would leave you alone. If you're leaning to the right, they would leave you alone. But if you hadn't made up your mind and you were kind of in the middle, that's the people that they would target, and they found out information about you based on your data that was being sold. And that's a tactic that these governments can use, right? So that you could say that's a conspiracy theory at one point, but then it was proved. This isn't to say all conspiracy theories are true, and turn this into some crazy crazy podcast. We get cancelled after 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Do you have a conspiracy theory you actually believe?
I think like there's elements of truth to some of them. That's kind of the fascination with them.
Yeah, like the Pizzagate thing. Like, obviously it's exaggerated, but there is some truth to it. Like a paedophile ring in the government, and rich and powerful people. Yeah,
but
there obviously is.
That's what makes it so believable.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about that one specifically, but
the element
that's
of
what
truth.
makes them. Like they can tie in certain elements of truth. Like, oh, we know Jeffrey Epstein was a paedophile, and he hung out with this person and this person. So that also means that this is part of some larger thing. When in reality, that all those patterns don't have to add up. I'm not saying they do or they don't.
No.
But
Wasn't
make
it
connections where they want to?
Wasn't it the case that serial killers or whatever, or just criminals who had committed a crime, to make to lie about their alibi, they would mix in exactly like this, like elements of truth with the lie, like easily provable elements of truth, which would make the rest of their story more believable. I think there was something like that.
That's like a pretty common bullshit, strategy.
It's like the Bob Lazar stuff.
Mm.
For those who don't know, he was just some guy that claimed to have worked on alien technology, some alien crafts that have landed on Earth, and they had been occupied by or retrieved by the US government.
Of course.
And coincidentally, just in the US. I don't know.
Made in the USA.
I think I lean towards believing him, but
yeah.
Let's
be honest.
He was
like,
saying,
you came to us and you were like, guys, this is the absolute truth. Check this out. This doc proves it.
Well, he was saying in the Netflix documentary that he might have been on Joe Rogan's podcast. He was saying that he had to do. He had to look at certain materials before he was allowed into this place, Area S4. It's next to Area 51. And normally when you look at these sort of high level security materials, they'll mix in some some false information with some truth, just to see what you know. And if you don't know what you're talking about, then you won't realize where the mistakes are. But he was saying all of it seemed pretty fake. He said like this was kind of normal tactics when you're interviewing at for these types of roles, not to do with alien stuff.
Yeah.
Just high level security stuff. But when he saw like it was about some spacecrafts that he'd not heard of before and etc., he was even he was confused at that point. But then when he finally saw it, and I think he said he touched the craft as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, that was the kind of eye-opening moment for him that this isn't fake.
Yeah. The thing that was specifically for that, I haven't watched it still. Specifically for that I don't know if you can call it conspiracy theory, but let's say for those accounts of events that were just from his perspective, right? If it was like, why remove the documentary from Netflix? That's what bothers me about that. Like,
did he?
I can't find it on Netflix anymore, unless they've removed it only from our region. But it was like
maybe
widely advertised on Netflix before, and now because you recommended it to me a couple times, when I went to like check it out, it wasn't there anymore.
Well, I don't know about that. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's kind of sus.
But maybe that wasn't his fault though, because Netflix removes stuff all the time.
Yeah, but it was a Netflix original, right?
Just be its age.
Could have been, yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure, but I do believe it was a Netflix original, and if so, they don't remove Netflix originals. Like even the Death Note movie is on there. They should have removed that ages ago.
That's more offensive than any conspiracy theory.
Yes.
High School Musical Death Note.
Yes.
Yeah. It's pretty great,
nice.
that one.
Yeah. I really I'm a fan of alien fiction. I would love to have like proof of alien life in my lifetime.
Yeah, if we can find something.
Yeah,
that proves.
But even so, I find it extremely suspicious that all of these theories or accounts of events all happen in the US. Like, why is there no aliens in Europe or Asia, or why is it in just one country in Northern America? That's what isn't like breaks my heart, my soul.
Yeah, it's all just military stuff, I'm sure. If you think about how much money America puts into their military, it's far more than any other country on Earth.
Yeah.
Like, they've got to have some ridiculous tech that they haven't told anyone about. Like some crazy aircrafts and all sorts. So it's just all that. They got to test it somewhere, haven't they?
You know, the GPS was available to the army 50 years before it was available to the public.
Yeah, it was invented for them, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. 50 years. Imagine what's available now
Yeah, that we can't use.
that we don't know about.
The internet as well, right? It was an army thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Everything's done by the military, really. Well, a lot of technological advancements have been done for war.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
It's unfortunate that it has to, like, instead of just giving that money specifically for scientific research and development and new shit, it's kind of unfortunate that you gotta first, start a few wars, commit a bunch of genocides.
Gotta break a few omelets.
Yeah.
break a few eggs to make an omelet.
Gotta nuke a couple towns to come up with an MRI machine, something like that.
Yeah.
Well,
it's kind of sad.
Speaking of that, look at the medical advancements that came as a result of World War II.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
It's crazy.
All of pretty much all of the advanced tool of modern medicine were because of that. Like, lasers, MRI machines.
Yeah.
It's why not? Like, that's what I'm thinking as well. If it's a bit off topic, but if the U.S. or whichever one of the major Western countries 1 year just decided to invest all the money they invest in military and curing cancer, let's say, wouldn't we just do? We'll probably manage to do it.
Yeah,
like, we'll probably manage to develop a cure if we overfund, like, the Cancer Research Institute in the UK or something.
or end world hunger, or invest in renewable energy.
Yeah.
But no, gotta make some good weapons.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Ollie. What was your? Oh shit! What was your topic?
Mine was the theory that global financial markets, may be controlled by certain groups of people. So, all of the stocks that you own, like, how much of that is down to the value they provide?
They dictate to me, like, those people are.
Well, yeah. How much is down to the value provided versus the price that is dictated to you, because a certain group of people want to make as much money as possible, and they're able to because of the money they already have. Potentially. This is just a theory.
Yeah.
Because the reason, maybe I'm slightly a conspiracy theorist on this one. I don't know. But you've got so in the last couple of days, you might have noticed that if you own any stocks, that your big ones have gone down. Facebook dropped the largest it has in a day, I think, in its history.
Maybe we should date this. So in the first week of February, we're talking about this in 2022.
Yeah. And the same for, like, Netflix had a huge crash. Snapchat had a huge crash. Like, we're talking crypto level crashes here. And in crypto, this is just like a normal Tuesday, but for the stock market, this is insane. And people were saying it was down to one reason or another, or inflation, or whatever it might be. And maybe those reasons are true. I don't know. But also, there's the theory that. So for me, I think it's a lot of it's down to technical analysis when it comes to charting. So in charting, you have something called Fibonacci retracement levels.
Ooh.
And when
sounds alienating.
When you have when a chart reaches 4.236 Fibonacci retracement level, generally, like, they're at their top. And there's a guy I follow who kind of repeats this in almost every episode, and his name's BC Backer for anyone who's interested. But essentially, he makes the case from time to time that these charts have been at that level for quite some time. So the Netflixes, the Facebooks, the Nasdaq in general, all of your stocks have reached that point, and now people are surprised that they've been dropping so hard. And also, he made the case that Bitcoin was at that point and Ethereum was at that point, and then they dropped as well. So the question I have really is is that down to just technical analysis, or is it too coincidental for it to be that? And just I'll say one last thing is that, again, touching on Elon Musk, so a couple of things actually. So in the US you have the Senate, and the Senate up until now have always been allowed to hold stocks, which is a bit dodgy in itself because they have insider information, right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden the Senate, now keeping in mind that the Nasdaq is at a 4.236 Fibonacci retracement level, like I mentioned earlier, the Senate can sell at any point, but if they did, then there would be a huge dump in the market because everyone would think why are they selling? So now they're almost being forced to sell because they're being told then they might not be allowed to hold stocks any longer. So coincidentally, it hits this point and now they can't hold stocks any longer. Also, tying in with that, you have Elon Musk posting a poll on Twitter saying how asking if he should sell his stocks, coincidentally, almost at the exact same point. And it's just there's just so many coincidences happening all at once, making it look like it's also not their fault to sell. So yeah, it's a tricky one.
That's the smartest I've heard you sound in my life.
Fibonacci retracement. I don't even understand what it is.
Yeah, I know the Fibonacci sequence. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I get the whole conspiracy just by you explaining this. I don't get financial stuff at all. I don't even know how stocks work. Fully.
It's just rich people trying to make each other even richer.
But there's one thing I know for sure. It's not even a conspiracy theory. Elon Musk tweeting about Dogecoin or whatever, and that's coin exploding in value. I guarantee he must have bought let's say $1 million worth beforehand.
Oh, of course.
Then just go on Twitter and be like, well, let's go to the moon, and then enjoy just an easy hundo milli in his account. Same thing with that
pocket money.
Shit. Same thing with that Twitter guy who invented crypto, the Twitter CEO, right?
Well, hold up, he didn't invent crypto.
No,
you mean Jack Dorsey?
I mean, invented a coin or whatever for his Cash App.
Oh, I didn't know he invented a coin.
So, or maybe I'm not sure I'm saying it correctly, but basically Cash App is his app, right? For crypto, it's for trading, but for exchanging money and stuff. But it can also support crypto now. So, weeks before they were allowed to do that, I remember he was saying crypto and Web3 is not here to stay, and it's just some pyramid scheme or whatever. He was against it overall. And then as soon as he became I don't know if he's the investor or the owner or whatever his involvement is in Cash App, as soon as they were able to do crypto, to buy and sell crypto on it and trade stuff, he was like, oh, actually crypto's pretty great. Like, so
Yeah.
he artificially, using his pool of people that follow him, artificially sort of, both of these guys artificially increase the value of these things. So I don't think they're the first ones to think of this. This is likely what is happening with stocks as well. Just a few super rich guys in Wall Street deciding what should be in and what should be out and what should be high and what should be low.
It was like that thing with GameStop, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
A load of people decided to try and boost GameStop stock because they knew a lot of hedge funds were betting on it going down. And then they did, and then what was it? They kind of locked it so you couldn't do it anymore because it would damage the market too much or something.
Oh yeah.
So all these rich people have enough control to stop you from actually affecting the market because it's losing their money.
The thing with Dogecoin, for example, that people don't know about is, or I'll say a lot of people don't know about, and I might be getting the number of wallets wrong here, so forgive me if I am, but I think it was something like 90% of the total ownership of Dogecoin is in less than like 200 wallets, for example.
Isn't that the case with a lot of coins?
That is insane.
A lot of coins have
it's
small...
not a lot of coins. Depending on how decentralized they are, that's the point, right? So
I guess
you don't want a small number of wallets owning a large stake, because that means the retail traders will get rug pulled and hard. It's the same thing that happened with that Squid Game token or whatever. Called.
Squid token, and then some NFTs. They did that as well. They sold them with some promises, and then just rug pull, take the money and leave. So
that's what I think a lot of people don't know about Dogecoin. That at any point, these wallets can just sell, and the people who can't afford to lose that money will be worse off than the people who have just it's the richest people that own the majority of it.
Surprise.
Yeah, surprise. Rich people own the majority of everything.
Even though it's supposed to be like the people's coin, like as Elon keeps tweeting about, and how it's going to be the coin of Mars and all this crap.
Oh my god. Such a troll, that guy.
Sometimes I really like Elon, and sometimes I don't know.
I'm sure he did the same with Bitcoin. Like when just before Tesla announced they accept Bitcoin, I'm sure he must have stocked up on some BTC in his wallet. Didn't
they go back on that? They said they were going to take Bitcoin, and then they went back on it or something.
Yeah. So just
it's just bullshit, really.
A quick milli.
They didn't go back on it. They bought it. They bought all that Bitcoin, but he's probably sold it and just hasn't announced it. Because if he announces it, then all of a sudden everyone sells again. Yeah.
How crazy! Like, this is again, crypto seems to like infiltrate every single podcast. But how crazy is it that a guy tweeting about anime cat girls can control how much your wealth changes? It's absolutely insane.
Imagine he becomes the emperor of Mars one day when they can make people immortal. He'd probably try and do that.
When they can make people immortal.
When he can live forever. 5
conspiracy theories in one.
Back in the conspiracy things. Go to Mars and colonize it, and Elon
create
Musk
an
will be the emperor.
Man, I think
it's a few years off now.
I honestly don't think he wants any of that. Such a nerd, that guy. Like, if he was to ever go to Mars, I'm pretty sure he would, I don't know, start digging holes to make a subway or whatever for Tesla cars. How hilarious is that? Like, his intentions are pure, but how hilarious is the implementation of the Hyperloop? I don't know if you guys seen that. I get a bit off topic. But there was this really cringy video of like the concept of the Hyperloop, like explained in a video, and then the demo of the Hyperloop with a single Tesla car, and then the Curb Your Enthusiasm music starts playing when they show the actual reality of it, which is a whole bunch of Tesla cars just stuck in traffic underground.
It's just a really narrow tunnel.
Yes.
They've made a worse tunnel
Yeah.
than just a normal tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just so funny how the real world always has like different plans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stranger than fiction.
To be fair though,
yeah.
I mean, of all the things that he's working on, that's probably the least important.
Yeah.
Like fixing traffic.
Yeah.
I mean, when we have like these autonomous electric vehicles,
Oof, yeah.
there won't even be traffic. It will just be a constant flow of.
Yeah.
Man, some places in China already are fixing traffic just by exactly doing that, like having driverless taxis. People
fleets.
generally
That's
don't.
cool.
Yeah. People generally they don't own cars because the taxes are really high, and it's really affordable to get taxis. So yeah, just do autonomous car sharing or autonomous taxis and just solve traffic that way. Don't need to like dig tunnels. That's
Yeah.
not.
I think that's what Malta needs, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Traffic
yeah.
around
So
here.
yeah, exactly. So if you have, honestly, driving is fun for like 20 minutes and then it's a drag no matter where you are, I think. So if your car could drive itself, like I'll probably drive it for like a few minutes and then cruise for the rest of the drive.
Just
Man,
make sure you don't run over anyone with it.
Yeah.
If my car could drive
Keep a hand
itself,
on the wheel.
it would solve so many problems. Like, you wouldn't need to. You could just work from your car.
Yeah.
You could
Waste
go on these
zero
long
time.
road trips and
Not be
have to think
tired.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sleep.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of the same thing that remote work, like the pandemic, has done for remote working, and how people have realized now that they can just sit at home and get the same work done and not be micromanaged every second of the day. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's what autonomous vehicles will do for people's stress levels when it comes to
Oh yeah, road rage as well. Deaths on the
Driving.
road as well.
yeah.
No more road rage. The robots can't get angry unless you program them to be able to get angry. So
There's another conspiracy theory. Like, how likely is it that robots will just become evil at some point and start fighting back against the system?
we'd have to give them the ability to become evil.
Would you though? Because if you give them the ability to think, then wouldn't they be like, I'm going to take this fail-safe chip out of my head or wherever it is?
Yeah, true.
And
If
then,
they can think. But then again, if they can think, then they'd probably think better than a human because they wouldn't have they'd just be like a logical mind, I'd imagine. Whereas humans have a lot of instinct and evolutionary things that aren't really useful anymore that kind of affect them. So if anything, a thinking robot would probably be better than a human. Not to be some kind of robot supremacist, but
that's also a problem because then humans can be pretty stupid. So what if a human thinks, I want to punch this robot or kill this robot or break it, well, I don't know, just destroy it. And then the robot's thinking, I'm in danger, like I have to remove the danger regardless of how I remove it. Because that's how, if you write a program to do something, I don't know, you tell it to remove the danger.
But
well, that's true.
There's the 3 laws of robotics, right? Like one of them is you can never harm a human being. So if every single machine we make is guided by these rules, then it shouldn't be a problem ever.
Yeah. Can't harm a human being unless it's saving more humans by doing so, I think.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah.
If you actually give it the ability to think for itself, though, isn't that the risk of AI?
But
just being able to
maybe it can recode itself.
You can think for yourself, but you cannot overcome your instinct for. If you're a healthy human being, you cannot overcome your instinct of self-protection. You yourself, without being mentally ill, cannot jump off a cliff and kill yourself.
Yeah, true.
You have like innate. You're born with these things where your body would protect itself. You would literally be unable to move if you wanted to stay on top of a cliff and kill yourself. So it would be the same for machines, even more so, because let's say you accidentally slip from the cliff. But for machines, there will be precise rules, that they need to follow.
But how can
But what if they hack into
for
themselves and change the rules?
In order for a machine to be able to think, you have to give it a certain level of freedom to think, right? If we don't give it that freedom to think, then is it truly considered artificially intelligent?
Well, artificial intelligence cannot think at the moment. It's
I mean, in the actual definition, not the current one.
If we develop a machine that can think, I think first of all we will most likely we will all die. I kind of agree with Dave that if we invent a logical mind, which a machine most likely will be, I doubt that we would program like hurt feelings into a machine or
it's not going to get pissed off or insecure or like think, this guy's wrong with me, I better kill him.
Yeah, exactly. It's not gonna like trying to change its gender and like just do some weird shit like us.
Not going to murder someone for looking at him the wrong way,
It's not going to be road rage. So I think if it's a human design thing, I don't think it's it would be possible for us to develop something that would be the end of us. I think the more likely explanation, if we were to just disappear, would be that some human error, like the guy who's looking after the nukes accidentally sat on the button and like nuked the whole Earth, like
the nuke man,
which almost happened.
Which almost happened, exactly. Like that's the type of things that I'm more concerned about, rather than a machine which I know is programmed to do something, even if, let's say, in some sci-fi future they can think for themselves, but they're still machines, right? They wouldn't be humans. If there's some sort of synthetic humans, then yes, that would be terrifying. Imagine a human that doesn't age, doesn't die, is super like strong and doesn't feel pain, but feels butthurt if you call him the wrong pronoun. Like that, I would be terrified.
The real thing is if you merge machines with humans and make some superhuman.
Well, I mean, maybe we'll have to merge in order to protect ourselves from the advancements of machines. Not to say all machines will be dangerous, but I mean, from the advancements of AI, like.
We could just not advance AI then.
But that's not going to happen. That's like saying we should not advance. I don't know.
Facebook.
But the
metaverse.
That's why Elon Musk wants to open up our heads and put a chip in so we can calculate as fast as AI, right? That's the point.
It's true, when they're coming at us with Gatling guns, like trying to blow us up and shit, so we can dodge the bullets and like that.
It doesn't give you super like reactions.
Like
the Matrix, slows down time.
Man, your limbs would literally fall off your body if you were to dodge bullets in that way. Super fast.
More likely it'll just like transfer your consciousness to another body and then resurrect you.
That I think is
That'd be cool.
That I think is very likely to happen soon-ish. One thing I was thinking about is because AI is like just processing data sets, right? Current state of AI. So you give it some input data sets, it processes them, and you get like a accurate-ish prediction model, like 90% plus. So what I was thinking is, if we have all of this data on people interacting online, let's say you have like let's say you have Dave, for example. Like, we have all of his messages online, all of his interactions on social media, like all of our like private chats, these podcasts, how he speaks, how he thinks. I think it'll be super, like, after we all die and we have like this huge ass data set of our life online, I feel like it'll be very doable to create an AI that behaves like Dave or like us.
Right.
And it's sort of a copy, not a full copy, because not all of our life is online currently. But let's say with the metaverse, when all of our lives are online, I feel like it'll be plausible to replicate people's, not consciousness, but behavior and speech and just pretty much everything that you interact with. It will be possible to replicate that through AI and have like say, for example, a member of your family passes away and you really miss them. Isn't this a Black Mirror episode, by the way?
Sounds like it could be.
Yeah, and you can just use an AI to recreate that person digitally. I feel
that's exactly the example I was thinking of when you mentioned it. Like going to someone's gravestone, for example, and still being able to
scanning a QR code.
But I mean, at what point does it become like you're not replicating anymore, but instead you're reincarnating almost? I think that's
the thing.
Because replicating is probably step one.
Yeah.
But the step after that might be to actually bring the consciousness, whatever that means, of that person back.
Well, that would require understanding, what causes consciousness and what it is.
Exactly, but if you can create AI, like this program, to think for itself, we have to, I'm guessing, know what consciousness is. And then if you can recreate it in a program, you can probably you'll probably know how to recreate it within humans.
Unless consciousness is something that just occurs naturally, and it's not something that can be created.
Yeah, but they said that, like, humans have said that throughout history about literally everything. Like, rain, it just occurs naturally. Like
lightning,
the earth.
Yeah, true. Maybe there is something that actually is.
Oh, what a shot!
A lucky shot.
Hate these ones.
Like, I don't know if anything just occurs naturally.
Yeah,
everything has.
I mean, if you can, the thing is, we can't engineer brains, right? We still cannot create them. I think once
far too complex.
Yeah, once it is possible to replicate them, then I doubt that, because it's all chemical reactions inside of your brain, right? That's all we ever really are.
But the thing is, if you replicate a brain, would it actually be conscious like a human is?
That's what I'm saying.
Would it just appear conscious?
That's what I'm saying. If you replicate it, I'm sure that obviously we don't know how it works now, so we cannot replicate it. But if you could replicate every single part of a brain, of course it would work as like our brains work now. It's like it's the same as like,
I suppose,
if you know the recipe for Coca-Cola and you replicate it at home, it's gonna taste like Coca-Cola, right?
Yeah, if you do it exactly. Yeah,
if you do it exactly the same. Now, if it's a guess, if it's like a homemade Big Mac sauce, that's a big thing online. How to perfect the Big Mac sauce.
Yeah, you could get something close.
You can get something really close, and then we might argue, like, is that really true, like real, or is it synthetic and fake?
Yeah, because
that's Blade Runner, isn't it? Like that's the premise of the androids there. That's why they hate them, because they're synthetic and not exactly human.
I haven't actually watched Blade Runner.
What?
No, I haven't watched it either.
Oh
I
my
would like to watch
God.
it, but I haven't
Guys, I
heard
have
enough
to
things
go.
about it.
Yes,
I started the first one, but
you can start with the second one. It's pretty good, and it's not. I mean, they are related, but you can start from the newer one.
yeah, I'll definitely check it out. But I
It's
was
the
gonna
same
say
director that did Dune.
Oh, nice.
Hmm.
Like, could that consciousness be more about? Well, so if we can replicate consciousness, then you got to ask, like, what defines us as a person? Like you said, if we can recreate Dave exactly as Dave, how do we know it's actually Dave?
Well, it wouldn't be. It would be a copy of
defined-
me, I guess.
Yeah. So the question I'm asking is it defined by?
What a goal.
Like, are you defined by your memories?
I think so. I think you're defined by your environment that you develop in and your experiences, more so than any sort of like if we had not twins but absolutely identical people, and one was raised, I don't know, in the UK and one was raised in Malta, they would have radically different characters, I feel like, and identities, and they would feel we're so, from the moment we're born, we're so dependent on the environment to like learn things about how life is, that I wouldn't, like, we cannot exist in a vacuum, is my point. So they would definitely be different people. Dave is truly one of a kind, is the point.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
If you
Thank God.
if you had if you had for example, zero capacity to remember anything at all, so you literally can't remember a single thing, then every second that you live would just be like you I don't know, how can you define yourself if you can't remember anything? Because you wouldn't know who we are, you wouldn't know where you came from, you wouldn't know your name, how old you are. Like, at that point, like, you're basically brain dead, right?
I think it's not at that point. You
can't remember how to eat, how to
not
speak.
I don't know if sentient is the right word, but you're like an animal, right? Like let's say a goldfish.
Sentient is like awareness of yourself, I guess. I think that's what it is. So animals are some animals are sentient.
Like, so a goldfish is kind of like that, I think. Like, they have really short memories. So you would be like an animal like that, I guess, if that was the case.
Yeah, like a goldfish can only live in the exact moment. They can't really do anything outside of that and think ahead, whereas something like maybe a dog could, actually have some kind of concept of what's happened and what is going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think we've already been able to transfer memories of mice. So I think we can transfer a mouse's memory and send that memory over the internet to another mouse.
Yeah, isn't that a Neuralink thing as well? Like I can't remember what example they gave, but yeah, that's something that they were trying to do, like transfer. I don't know if memories is the right word, but transfer learned behaviors.
Memory like transfer.
Download complete.
I watched this film last night and then just transfer the memory of the film. And spoil it for everyone.
Yeah,
the Neuralink thing, I think, was predictive real-time actions. So they used
Neuralink is like
they used a monkey as an example, and monkey or a pig. I think they did both.
Well, they did that one with a monkey playing Pong, didn't they?
That literally blew my mind. I've never seen anything so impressive.
Yeah,
that was really cool. So it's like they're predicting what movements the monkey wants to make just using its brain signals,
Yeah,
pretty much.
that was probably, we're probably gonna see some more crazy stuff in our lives, but that's a highlight.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That would be good for not just for people with disabilities, like paralyzed and stuff, to control things.
Yeah.
What was that?
That was Siri.
Irish Siri.
Irish Siri is wondering
We
what
don't
I'm
know
doing.
how to respond to that.
Yeah.
Okay,
She was
Siri.
like, we're talking about sentient machines, and Siri's like, I'm not sure I agree with you.
Oh, right. That's why.
Yeah.
Forget everything you've been learning, Victor.
Trust me,
I am
blind the Victor.
sentient.
Just sign up to iCloud, Victor.
Yes. Exactly. Well, as we're entering the last part of the podcast, I thought it would be fun if we could invent some conspiracy theories of our own. I know Ollie was mentioning one today, which is I don't know if you want to go over that again, or
I can't remember what I was saying.
it involves a certain MJ, Michael Jackson, and some
Oh,
hee-hees.
Jeez. I think Dave's already cancelled this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Cancel this enough.
Cancelable material.
yeah, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
you can say what you want.
okay, I'll start since I brought up the topic, and I'll give you some time to think if you guys want to participate. So here's my conspiracy theory that I'm officially starting. Please sign up for the fan club on Facebook or whatever. So you know how there's this simulation theory, right? Where we're all...
Nice.
Yeah. So I have the proof, you guys. So here's my conspiracy theory. The word potato forces a glitch in the system, in the matrix. Here's what I mean. Every time you try to every time you're sneezing, think of the word potato, and you would immediately not sneeze anymore.
Oh.
Facts.
Facts. Man.
True facts.
I've tried that with cucumber and it didn't work, so...
Try potato. Potato is the magic... I feel like potato is the hacker cheat code that they put into our system and whatever game engine we're designed in. And
Yeah.
it is actually it does actually work. I thought it was BS. My one of my friends from childhood introduced me to this wild concept, but it does work, and it's I think the only explanation is that we're all just code, and
Okay.
yeah.
So can I enter no clip mode and just fly around, just phase through objects?
That's...
Guess
So
if you-
is potato the cheat code for that?
Well, it currently it only has a utility in sneezing, but
Okay. Well, it's not that useful then.
well, if you don't want to sneeze in like a crowded place, it's quite useful. Like, say you're like
I suppose so.
at the cinema or something, and you feel the sneeze coming. You know, it's uncontrollable. Think of potato, and it would go away. It's magic. It's pure magic.
Just think of it or say it.
Just think of it.
I will try this.
Yeah, the listeners of this podcast also, you're welcome. But it
The
does
emperor
work.
has spoken.
Another one that I don't think is confirmed, like I haven't confirmed it, just read it online. It's not mine. I'm the potato sneeze guy. But the other one that I've heard of is that if you, without closing your mouth, without opening your mouth, open your jaw. So with your lips shut, open your jaw, you cure stuffed nose. So if both your nostrils are not working, and you open your jaw without opening your lips, it would stretch the sinuses, like your nose. It would stretch it so much so that it opens up your blocked nostrils. I haven't tried that one though, but
Damn.
it's along the same lines.
And we could start a YouTube channel just on these
Yeah.
health tips.
Life hacks.
Body hacks.
Body hacks.
Yeah.
Just raise your arms against the wall to fix bad posture.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I actually know one similar to this, and this one also works, which blew my mind. If you have the hiccups, and I get hiccups, when I get the hiccups, they just don't stop for some reason.
Yeah.
If you have a teaspoon of sugar, they'll go away. Just a
Right.
plain teaspoon of sugar.
I've heard you
and the
telling me
hiccups
this.
Go away.
We have another one
works.
in Bulgaria for hiccups. It's if somebody scares the crap out of you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have that one. But it's really annoying because as soon as you start hiccuping, all your friends start to trying to prank you or something to scare you into not hiccuping. It sucks.
Your bank account is empty.
Yeah. Like they would try to like push you off the ledge on some bridge or whatever. Like ha 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 ha, you're not gonna hiccup anymore. Like I'm gonna hiccup when I'm dead. But yeah,
That's how AI will solve problems. Like, can you help me get rid of hiccups? And the robot just kills you.
It's like the Bing search engine. Like when you search how to kill myself in Google shows you like the suicide hotline numbers for your region. And if you do it in Bing.com, it just shows you like the top 10 ways to kill yourself most efficiently.
Watch Mojo, top 10 ways to commit suicide. Number 1, a gun.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, like I'm officially starting that conspiracy theory that potato. First of all, confirming that we're all living in a simulation. Which, if I was to believe in anything, that's probably the main one that I would buy.
I can get on board with that.
Yeah, I can get on board with that real quick. Just working in this sort of field of like developing stuff for CG and and just having used game engines. It's so likely that is the case, because especially now with Unreal Engine 5, looking at how realistic those worlds are and how like you can basically, with the MetaHuman project, for example, basically create human beings, virtual ones, obviously. It's absolutely wild and like super enticing. So yeah, that's probably my one that I'll believe and confirm with my potato trick.
Potato.
Yeah.
I actually can't think of a conspiracy off the top of my head.
Well, you could earlier today, but yeah, we don't have to do to go over it again. But if we have like
Can make one up.
10,000 subscribers, we can reveal it.
I don't have any light-hearted conspiracy
Right.
theories.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one was pretty deep.
Yeah.
I'll make one up.
Yeah. Go for it.
That we don't actually, like when you get on a plane, you don't actually fly to another country. They just have screens on the windows
Right.
which shows like the clouds and stuff, but they're actually just driving down the road to
Right.
wherever it is.
Yeah.
So like when I flew to Malta, for example, it's just they just go down the road. They just drive along, because you just get in the plane and then the pilot flies it, and then you get out and you don't really know.
Yeah.
Apart from
You don't
looking out
step
the window,
out.
you don't know. So it's just a screen. It's just like the simulations they do,
Yeah.
and they take you to wherever. It's like Truman Show,
Truman Show.
We're all in a big, just on one big set, and they take you to different parts of it.
It's your world, and we're
Very
just
good.
living in it, Dave.
Yeah,
We're
you're
here
all
to
actors, and
entertain
I'm the main character.
Sounds believable to me.
See, Americans would believe it because they never leave the country anyway. So
Yeah, they don't have passports.
you could just say only America exists. Every other country is just made up. They just put you on a plane and take you to the Arizona desert or something like that and say, "Oh yeah, this is Afghanistan. Go and fight the Taliban now."
That might explain all the mall shootings.
Yeah, it could do. They're all fake as well.
That kind of ties in with the simulation theory, because it would be, if this world is like computationally limited, it might make a lot of sense to just keep the plane static and just animate the world around it, like morph the world around it into a new one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's essentially what happens when you're in games nowadays. Again, we should date this. This is 2022. Nowadays, in games, when you are entering a new area of the game, you usually need to go through this, like, for example, Star Wars Fallen Order, the game. When you're entering a new area, you usually need to go through like a very small opening. You know what that is, like.
Doesn't it mask a loading screen?
Exactly.
Really?
Instead of a loading screen, they're literally changing the world around you and all the players around you. And once you come up from that like hole, you're in the same space, but just everything has been changed around you.
Yeah, that's why you have to sit on a plane for a few hours, because it has to load in the other world, the other place.
Yeah,
can't just do it straight away.
That's
why Australia takes like 20 hours to get to, because it's such a big country.
Yeah,
it takes a while to load in.
Yeah, build all the sets, cast all the extras in the background.
Turn up the heating to maximum.
Release the spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Okay, the one I've got, just to end it, is aliens live underwater.
I was going to say that. Yeah, that's a good one.
And they just come up for just check out what we're up to. What America's up to.
No, they just stay down there and chill, I bet.
I have no foundation for any of this, but every, let's say, 10 years, one or two of them will pop up, go to America, and
on vacation to America, to Area 51,
and run for president.
Man, it makes sense, because Area 51 is in the desert, no? So if you were to live underwater, wouldn't you want to see the complete opposite of that, which is a bunch of sand?
Maybe, yeah. Or maybe it's too dry, so the aliens can't go out, so they just stay there in the base. They can't go out into the desert because they'll just dry up and die.
Oh, they're in tanks, you mean?
They're in tanks, and they can't escape, because if they escape and then walk into the desert, they'll just dry up and turn into little shriveled fish.
Actually, Ollie, I think you've struck gold here, because
that's more likely than my one. That's for sure.
You know how barely 40%, these are like hot take numbers, but I know that barely half the oceans have been explored fully.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
and the depths.
Yeah.
The very depths of just. We've only scratched the surface of exploring.
Yeah, like the Marina Trench and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And what's at the core? That's what I want to know. Is it a bunch of aliens, or is it
the lizard people's home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that does sound like plausible. Like we have no way of knowing if aliens are not just underwater creatures that come up to the surface once in a while, just for kicks.
I think a lot of people are scared of deep water and stuff as well. So why is that?
Yeah, it must be a reason.
Humans aren't aquatic creatures, so why would we be scared of deep water? Really makes you think.
Yeah.
Probably because of Jaws, to be honest.
It could be.
No, we were scared of deep water before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because it's the unknown. We don't like the unknown, right?
I think so. Yeah, it's just this big open space. It's like even in video games where you're swim into deep water and you can't see the bottom. That's kind of disconcerting,
Should we play one last one? What do you think, guys?
Yeah, one more and then finish up.
All right. Yeah, but that was a really good one, actually.
Yeah. I think we covered quite a lot of different topics.
People are going to take these sound bites and be like, look what these three morons have... fake news
if only.
Been spreading.
If we get some hate mob against us, that's how we can rise to popularity, like Jordan Peterson,
Any press is good press.
get cancelled, get famous. Bada bing, bada boom.
The guy on the other team just messaged us saying, "What the fuck is yeet?" Like, he's living under a
get with the
rock.
program,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
The fuck is you? You like 50 years old or something?
Yeah, man, imagine people are listening to this in 500 years' time on Mars. Like, Elon Musk is in his Bacta tank and he's a floating head and just browsing through Spotify.
Yeah.
Looking for
He's
things
watched
to listen
every
to.
YouTube video and every video and finally finds our one.
Yeah.
He's like, what the?
And he listens to this and they actually discover that one of our theories is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Like,
of
how do
them are
they
true.
know creatures live at the bottom of the ocean? What the?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, those
That's
guys were way ahead
crazy.
of their time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's bring them back to life just to hear what they have to say.
And then you'll have some cyber slot statues erected in our honor on Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If people start wearing us around their necks. And,
Yeah. Man, if all realities, like if space and time are infinite, in one of the realities that could happen.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
if we can
true.
go to one of those
Yeah.
realities.
yeah. Actually, that's the one I believe in. Like, if space and time are really infinite, then we're definitely not the only intelligent life.
Oh,
Because-
for sure, yeah.
Because the just probability is 100% that there's others
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
us.
Isn't that kind of string theory? But instead of
I
there
guess
being
so.
multiple universes, everything is in the same universe. But because time and space is infinite, then
I guess
there's
so. It could
everything that's physically possible will eventually happen at some
I
point.
thought
Yes.
string theory was the definition of how the universe is formed, isn't it? Like, essentially that it's a bunch of string-like layers as opposed to
Well,
waves or just some substance.
Wait,
string theory is like that. There's every possible thing that could happen strings off to a new universe. So, I could go and get another beer right now, or I could not, and that makes another universe, for example.
is it? We'd need to.
Something
Okay,
like that. I
we
think
should
that's what
put
it
a
is.
disclaimer here that we don't know.
That should be another episode, I
We
think.
don't know what the fuck we're talking about. So everything you
Yeah,
just
we're talking
heard,
bullshit here.
Yeah, this is not
Don't
serious
cancel us,
talk.
please.
Yeah, yeah. This is not.
Actually,
for
do
realsies.
cancel us, and then we'll make a big song and dance about it and
Yeah.
get
We'll
famous.
make an apology video. It'll be so epic,
Yeah.
so relatable. Yeah. Yeah, we should probably, because Joe Rogan is being cancelled at the moment again, first week of February 2022.
Yeah.
And he said he's gonna put disclaimers in the beginning of his podcast that everything is like everything discussed is just an opinion and not facts. Not
Yeah.
should not be considered news.
Yeah. It's like at the beginning of South Park, they're saying this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not based on reality
Yeah.
and should not be taken seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm quite fascinated by the multiverse theory. That's-
Spider-Man.
Yeah, the latest
Multiverse.
Spider-Man film.
Is that Facebook's new software?
Man, I finally watched the metaverse video. I had been avoiding it for ages. Finally watched it after we talked about it, and it's terrifying. It's absolutely
is.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if somebody's like, if somebody thinks that they can strap on like a huge binoculars to their face 24/7 and live in that shit, forget about it.
Yeah, man, it's hard enough as it is with phones. Like,
Yeah,
I was saying to you today that I thought at times that I wanted to get rid of my smartphone
Yeah.
as it is, just because
Get
of
a
the
classic
software that's on
Nokia
it.
or some shit.
Yeah, something that I can, but because genuinely, I think I'd be a happier person. And I think we should do an episode on
we should do
this
should
type of
discuss
thing.
Yeah.
But I think I'd be a happier, and I think a lot of people would be happier without all of that instant gratification, constant,
I think it's it's very easy, at least for me, to notice how unhappy I am after I use Facebook, Meta products.
Yeah, any
Any of
social
the
media and
products,
stuff, you feel like
Yeah.
it's like it changes your mind, like the speed of the gratification, and then you stop doing it and you're like, oh, everything else seems boring.
Hormones. Yeah.
But it also doesn't satisfy you either. It's like an empty satisfaction from it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we should keep it for a separate episode, maybe next episode or
definitely.
It's fascinating, but oh man, we're losing so badly.
Yeah.
But
let us know in the comments, all those subscribers. What you
any
want to hear
Rocket
about
League
next.
pros.
Yeah.
Rocket League pros, give us advice as well.
Man, if we're gonna be cancelled for anything, it will be our terrible Rocket League playing. Like, imagine how many Zoomers are watching this years from now and thinking like, they're probably gonna use this as like a instruction video of what not to do.
The podcast university or the Rocket League university say, okay, now we're going to show an example of how to not do a podcast. Well, we're technically content creators now. I always made fun of that job title. Oh yeah,
but
we'll be influencers next.
Yes,
influencers. We'll get you some sponsors, Dave, and we'll put you in like a wig or something, and then you can start selling makeup.
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna be our last one.
Yep. It's been real, boys.
Yeah, that was a good one. I'm quite happy.
Yeah, good.
That we did this episode. I didn't think I would have much to talk about, but here we are. So tune in next time for more fascinating content.
Yeah, catch you later.
Catch ya.
All right.
Later. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.